the eye could see. The gorse bushes were in full bloom, their bright yellow flowers a stark contrast to the brown, crunchy grass that swathed the undulations and story tors of the moor. She had never seen anything so beautiful and wild. It seemed to beckon her with open arms, inviting her to explore its natural beauty and meander around the ruins of the Bronze Age settlements. But Janey had no time to fritter away. She followed the track that ran alongside the stone wall made by moorland cattle as they followed their daily route to graze the moor. Cattle, sheep and ponies, owned by the local farmers, were allowed to graze on the moor during the summer months. This practice resulted in the animals grazing at will, enjoying a natural existence unlike any other farm animal. Janey felt as if she'd stepped into another world. As she walked and enjoyed the sun on her face, she gave thought to the interview she was attending. She'd never held a position of a lady's maid before, and it was important she gave the right impression. At only 20 years old, she knew she was much younger than the usual age of 30 years expected, but Janey had ambition and a good education, which she felt would be an advantage above any contenders for the position. She took the advertisement out of her reticule and read it for the 100th time to reassure herself that, unusually, age had not been stipulated. In a gentleman's family, near the village of Trehale, wanted one lady's maid. She must be neat in appearance, literate, honest, trustworthy, and proficient in needlework and the dressing of hair. For name and address apply to the office of this paper. Janey folded it neatly and replaced it inside her bag. While doing so, she noticed for the first time the sound of granite stone on stone carrying towards her on the mild breeze. She looked for the origin, and in the distance saw a figure of a man methodically repairing the stone wall. He chose a stone from the pile at his feet and skillfully slotted it into place, continuing the pattern of the original builder. At first she thought it must be Mr. Treblecock, the owner of the farm, but as she approached him she realised his body was more agile, athletic and younger than a man pushing 70. A loud bleat from a lamb caught her attention as a herd of sheep trotted past her and settled nearby. Janey had not seen young lambs feeding naturally before. She couldn't help but gasp in wonderment at the vision, and, with an unusual lack of decorum for her, she spread her arms out behind her, tilted her face to the sky, and sighed in delight. "I love it here," she thought, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face and the gentle breeze kiss her skin. The rhythmical stone-on-stone sound ceased. Janey turned back to him. The man had stopped mid-lift, a forgotten stone held in his hand, and he was watching her. Embarrassment flooded her cheeks that he had seen her impulsive behaviour. Head down, she marched on with purpose, focusing hard on her shiny boots that peeped out from under her dress at each hasty stride. She was aware from her peripheral vision that he had dropped the stone and slowly straightened, and that his eyes never left her. She knew that the track would soon pass by him, and the thought of being so close to him unnerved her. However, she concluded sensibly, if she diverted to give him a wide berth, it would look ill-mannered. Yet this dark stranger, with his tanned skin and dark brown hair, heightened her senses as she could almost feel his eyes follow the curves of her body. She felt like an animal being watched by a predator. The feeling both discomforted and annoyed her. She decided she would look up and meet his stare as she drew closer. If he smiled a greeting, she would too, and all would be forgotten. If he did not, she would glare back at his rudeness and discourteous behaviour. She took a deep breath and looked up. He was no more than 6 feet away, and she was soon past him. Yet that moment in time would be forever etched in her mind. His eyes were the darkest brown, with dark lashes and brows. They penetrated to the core of her soul, making her heart lurch in her chest. It was as if a lightning bolt sizzled and crackled between